let's see. I think my favorite memory of me and my dad was when he would come home. He would come home from work every day at like 3 o'clock, and he would stop at the end of the yard, and we would all like get in the back of his work truck, and he would like drive us down the road really fast, which is probably not safe, but it was really fun. Or like when we would have like special moments where he would take us like separately on like a car ride somewhere or stuff like that, and he would show us like all the music he loved, and it was just sweet memories because we would spend one-on-one time with him, and it was just nice.
During the time where my dad passed away, my mom, she never had a job other than like babysitting when she was a teenager, because she got married at 18 to my dad, and then they started their lives. So she was a stay-at-home mom and homeschooled us all. But other than that, like, she never had a job. So when my dad died, she had to find a job, and I think there was 7 of us living at home at the time.
I didn't question God or anything like that, but I've never felt further away from God, probably up until, honestly, a few years ago.
I've always, like, dealt with, like, depression, anxiety, and that kind of thing. And during that time, because it's a hard time, our lives were flipped upside down, it was a lot more severe, and I really struggled a lot. Also, I felt like I had to, like, put on a front and help kind of take care of things and everyone.
If you think, why is this happening? Why would this happen to me? Like, why is this happening to my mother and my whole family and all of these things like that?
But during that time, when I was struggling, I always thought of the Bible verse, Isaiah 41:10, where it's like, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not afraid, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, and I will give you help, and I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." And that verse has kind of gotten me through everything. Just when I'm scared and I don't know what's happening, I remember that verse, and it just kind of helps me remember, like, even though I don't know what's going on, God does, and He has me in His hand, and I don't have to worry about anything.
Through all of that, you could, like, by looking back through it, you see the good things that happened, even though it might have not happened at the time, that God was blessing me in more ways than I could ever have known. And now I'm a lot more closer to Him and actually have a real relationship with Him instead of just praying when I wake up or praying when I go to bed. I actually want to spend time with God, and I need Him to make it through the day because I don't know if I could without Him.
I had a coworker who she would always say, "Hey, so, like, I see that you really believe in your walk with Christ, and I really see that you're leaning on Him on this time, and, like, I don't know how you do it." I didn't either. One day she came to me and she said, "Morgan, I've been watching you this whole time, and I just think it's really incredible, like, how you always point to the Lord in this tough time." And she was like, "And I want something like that too." And she told me that she gave her life to the Lord because of the way she saw how I would always point to God and how I relied on Him. And I just think that's really incredible that through something so hard and such a struggle that somebody else found hope in it.
Obviously, you don't want to hear it's part of God's plan. Obviously, you don't want to hear it's going to get easier. But I would just say trust in God, because you can't do it without Him. You can't fight what you're feeling on your own. You can't do it by yourself. You need to rely on God. You need to have that relationship with Him, because if you're not talking to God, if you're not listening to God, you're not going to get through it, because you're not going to know how to.
I would say even though you feel like God's not there, or He's not listening, or you're just confused as to what His plan is, even though you're confused, like, God's not, He has a plan. He sees the bigger picture even when we don't. God can always bring hope in the situation, even though if, like, you can't see it at the moment. Later down the road, you can see it. It can affect other people's lives and inspire them. So I feel like even in tough situations, like, there's always hope.